Going to Tennessee to meet with the governor, a lot of people, and doing something. I guess some of you are coming along, I assume, is that right?
Down.
You going?
There's a crew out at Andrews waiting on it.
Okay. So we're signing the 8.3 billion. I asked you 2.5, and I got 8.3, and I'll take it. Okay. So here we are, 8.3 billion. We're doing very well, but it's an unforeseen problem. What a problem. Came out of nowhere, but we're taking care of it. We have big news on the ship, and a lot of things are happening on the ship. People are being tested right now. And I just spoke to the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. We had a good conversation. We're both working on the ship together. It's close to 5,000 people, so big ship. We're doing testing on those people. Okay? Could I have those other papers I'm going to sign, please? These are additional papers relative to various things. So this is it.
What's this?
Okay, give me the other one. Do you have anything to say to the press?
I just want to make it clear that in terms of tests, we have provided all the tests to the state of Washington and the state of California that they've asked for. The production and shipping of tests that we've talked about all week is completely on schedule. All of the CDC tests, the tests that are available to test up to 75,000 people, CDC has shipped to America's public health labs. Those are out. Then IDT, the private contractor working with CDC to ship to the private sector and hospitals, has already shipped enough tests for 700,000 tests, and the remaining lots are arriving at CDC this morning for quality control and should get out as we forecast this weekend. And then next week, we'll keep ramping up production, so as many as 4 million tests next week are going to be driving forward. So everything is on schedule for the testing.
Mr. President, why aren't you going to CDC today?
He's actually sent me.
You
I'm gonna
could-
go down.
You could tell that.
Yep. He sent
We may go. There was, they thought there was a problem at CDC with somebody that had the virus. It turned out negative, so we're seeing if we can do it. But yesterday afternoon, we were informed that there may have been a person with the virus, and they now find out that that was a negative test. They've tested the person very fully, and it was a negative test. So I may be going. We're going to see if they can turn it around with
Maybe
Secret
I'll
Service.
sit in.
We may be going. Here, Steve, this is for you, after covering you so well.
How big a hit to the economy?
First time I've ever done that to a reporter.
How big a hit to the economy are you expecting?
Well, job numbers just came out, and they're incredible. The job numbers were tremendous, and we picked up close to 80,000 new jobs from last report. And if you add that up, it's over 350,000 jobs. Job numbers just came out a little while ago, and they were shocking to the people that were analyzing them.
Do you expect more gyrations in the
No, I
stock
think,
market?
a lot of people are staying here, and they're gonna be doing their business here, they're gonna be traveling here, and they'll be going to resorts here, and, we have a great place. It's where, so foreign people come, but we're gonna have Americans staying home instead of going and spending their money in other countries, and maybe that's one of the reasons the job numbers are so good. We've had a lot of travel inside the USA.
Do you think the Congress or your administration needs to take more action to diminish the risk of recession?
Well, all we can do is do what we do. I mean, we're getting a lot of business from people staying, in other words, which I've always liked anyway, you've known that for a long time. But people are staying here and spending their money here as opposed to going to Europe and other places. Now that'll change when this goes away, and hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. But people were, I would say virtually everybody, you saw the job numbers, I guess, people were shocked because you had another 80 or whatever it is, a lot of numbers from last month where they upgraded. So the job numbers were at a level that nobody thought possible. They were really incredible.
No stimulus needed?
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna see whether or not the Fed wants to stimulate. In my opinion, they should, because Europe is and China is and everybody is but us. We have a Fed that is not exactly proactive. I'm being very nice when I say that.
No fiscal stimulus?
I think what happens is the Fed should cut and the Fed should stimulate. And they should do that because other countries are doing it, and it puts us at a competitive disadvantage, and we have the most prime. We are considered by far the most prime, and it's our dollar that everybody uses. The Fed should stimulate, and they should cut. And why should Germany have an advantage over us with interest rates? So Germany just announced that they're stimulating and they're cutting. Asia is, all over Asia they are. China is tremendously. And we're really not. And we pay higher interest, we have a higher rate, and it's ridiculous, frankly. We should have the lowest rate by far, and instead we pay more than other countries. Other countries are paying 0 and less than 0, you know very well. And we're paying interest, which is a very conservative approach, but it's not a good approach because we're also competing against other countries, whether we like it or not. Even our friends we're competing against.
So in Afghanistan, are you afraid that once US pulls out, that the Taliban will basically just overrun the
Well, no,
Afghan government?
eventually countries have to take care of themselves. We can't be there for the next, another 20 years. We've been there for 20 years. And we've been protecting the country, but we can't be there for the next. Eventually, they're gonna have to protect themselves, This should have been done a long time ago. But you can only hold somebody's hand for so long. We have to get back to running our country too. So you understand that?
Sure. Do you think the Afghan government will be capable in the long term of defending itself?
I'll let you know later. We'll have to see what happens. I hope they are, but I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Mr. President, any concern that the coronavirus is...
It's not supposed to happen that way, but it possibly will.
Any concern that the virus is more widespread than originally thought because of the lack of testing? Is that any reason why you're not going to Atlanta today?
No. They had one person who was potentially infected. And speaking of that, I'd like to go, so you guys are trying to work that out. I was going to Tennessee first, in any event, and then I was stopping in Atlanta, then going down to Florida for meetings. I think that they're trying to work it out that I do go. No, I hadn't heard that. I heard one person, and because of the one person, at a high level, because of the one person, they didn't want me going. But I would prefer going, and now that the test came out negative, we're gonna try and go. The most powerful man in all of media, come on over. He has a little something to do with the Wall Street Journal, I don't know if you know. This is real power, right? You used to do what they did, right? And he did it so well that he's the boss at News Corp. Of course, Rupert has something to say with that, I guess, right? Lachlan, it's good to have you. It's good to have you. They treat me very nicely, the media, right? Except for the Wall Street Journal, what they say.
How do you keep people from panicking?
I don't think they're panicking. I don't think people are panicking. I said last night, we did an interview on Fox last night, a town hall. I think it was very good, and I said, calm. You have to be calm. It'll go away. We do have a situation where we have this massive ship with 5,000 people, and we have to make a decision. That's a big decision, because we have very low numbers compared to major countries throughout the world. Our numbers are lower than just about anybody. And in terms of deaths, I don't know what the count is today. Is it 11 people? And in terms of cases, it's very, very few. When you look at other countries, it's a very tiny fraction because we've been very strong at the borders. But then you have a ship with a lot of Americans on it. It's got 5,000 people on it. It's a massive ship, and they want to come in. So we have to make a decision. We're working with the governor of California.
Are you meeting with President Bolsonaro this weekend? sir?
Yeah. We're having dinner at Mar-a-Lago. He wanted to have dinner in Florida if that was possible. President of Brazil. So we'll be doing that today.
Do you think financial markets are overreacting?
I think financial markets will bounce back as soon as this really bounces back. Don't forget, they're down probably 10 or 11% from, where they were, but they were up 70%, so, it's only, it's a relatively small piece. I don't like to see it happen, because I was looking for 30,000 very soon. You were, it seemed days away from 30,000, and now we have a little more room to make up. But I think I think the country is so strong, we're so strong as a country now. We have never been like this. The consumer is generating so much because of the tax cuts, the regulation cuts, and, the things we've done. So I think we're in great shape. I think we're in great shape. This came unexpectedly a number of months ago. I heard about it in China, came out of China, I heard about it. And we made a good move. We closed it down, we stopped it. Otherwise, the head of CDC said last night that you would have had thousands of more problems if we didn't shut it down very early. It was a very early shutdown, which is something we got right. Yeah.
So looking at the Super Tuesday results, are you worried the Democratic Party is unifying around Joe Biden, and that will take away your arguments about the Democrats being too left-wing and too socialist?
Well, he's left-wing, and he's got all people that are left-wing, and in many ways he's worse than Bernie. Look at what he did with guns. He put Beto in charge of guns. Beto wants to get rid of guns, right? So that's a bad stance, and he's got a lot of people that are left-wing, and they'll be running the government. He's not going to be running anything. If he ever got in, they'll be running the government. They've got people further left-wing than what Bernie has. So,
Do you
not
think,
going to be good. It wouldn't be good for Wall Street, I can tell you that.
do you think sexism?
Plus, if you look at his taxes, he's going to raise taxes incredibly. He's going to raise taxes more than Bernie. I looked at, and he's open about it. Bernie doesn't like to talk about it. Joe Biden, his tax increases they're staggering. It's ridiculous. He'll destroy everything that's been built.
Do you think sexism was a factor in Elizabeth Warren pulling out, and do you believe you will see a female president in your lifetime?
No, I think lack of talent was her problem. She had a tremendous lack of talent. She was a good debater. And she destroyed Mike Bloomberg very quickly, like it was nothing. That was easy for her. But people don't like her. She's a very mean person, and people don't like her. People don't want that. They like a person like me that's not mean. Okay, I'll see you guys.
What is your